Hello, this is Efrosini Zoniu. This presentation on formal and informal mindfulness reports the findings of a 2019 paper entitled An Exploration of Formal and Informal Mindfulness Practice and Associations with Well-Being. This article draws on extant research and a study of 218 mindfulness practitioners' experiences from an online survey. The aim of the study was to investigate the relationship between formal and informal mindfulness practice and the current well-being and psychological flexibility of participants in order to derive useful insight to support the maintenance of long-term mindfulness practice, thus promoting improvements in health and well-being. The researchers hope the findings may be of use to mindfulness teachers so they can further support their students in pursuing a consistent, regular mindfulness practice. One feature I found striking about the demographics of the research is their education level. The overwhelming majority of interviewees had completed at least graduate studies, which reveals the need to acquaint larger portions of the population about the nature of mindfulness and its benefits to well-being. Also noteworthy is participants' reason for taking up mindfulness. Health reasons came first, not surprising since mindfulness is known to reduce suffering, followed by curiosity and personal interest, work or CPD, and personal development. The participants had been introduced to mindfulness through a variety of paths. Through attendance of a structured program, either from a book, by telephone, or online, through attendance of a face-to-face taught course, through no structured mindfulness course following an app, through Buddhism or other types of meditation, through yoga, and through work or training. Some were even experienced mindfulness teachers. As for their current practice, participants engaged in formal or informal practice. There are no widely agreed definitions of formal mindfulness practice and informal mindfulness practice. However, formal mindfulness practice can be considered to be when practitioners specifically set aside time to engage in mindfulness meditation practices, such as sitting meditation, breathing space, the body scan, mindful movement, etc. The participants who engaged in formal practice regularly performed sitting practice, breathing space, body scan, mindful movement, mindfulness of sound, and loving kindness meditation, and even all of the above. They practiced several times a week from 10 minutes to 45 minutes or longer per session. And interestingly, no significant difference was found in the frequency of formal mindfulness practice between those who had attended a face-to-face course and those who hadn't. Informal mindfulness practice involves weaving mindfulness into existing routines through engaging in everyday mindful moments and bringing mindful awareness to everyday activities. In other words, it involves generalizing mindfulness skills to everyday life. Participants who engaged in informal practice said they practiced mindfully washing the dishes, mindfully eating, mindfully drinking, mindfully driving or brushing their teeth, mindfully walking the dog, and mindfully watching a wild bird or flower. The experience of mindfulness practice was rated as a positive one overall. It was said to be relaxing, a willing practice, enjoyable, interesting, though not always easy. Practice appeared to be ever-changing, varying from day to day. sometimes even difficult. Some common challenges to a regular practice were identified. Remembering to practice or finding time or the motivation to practice, difficulties with home practice, being unable to complete all of the recommended home practice, or dislike of some exercises. Another frequent issue is concerns about getting it right because of the elusive nature of mindfulness. Feelings of inadequacy at not achieving a persistent performance or not improving. Falling asleep during practice, especially during the longer meditation practices such as the body scan or sitting and breathing practice, was also a recurrent challenge. Nevertheless, it was found that consistent practice can be supported in a variety of forms. 4 categories of supportive factors were identified. Practical resources, often linked to technology, such as apps or CDs, emails from websites, reminders, evidence that mindfulness can be helpful, etc. Second factor, support from others. The feeling of being part of a mindfulness community was a crucial factor. This is why attending regular group practice sessions or course refresher, reunion sessions, keeping in contact with mindfulness teachers, attending workshops, or even talking to other mindfulness practitioners, and the support from friends and family and the workplace are stimulating factors. A third factor is time and routine. Finding time to practice is not always easy, so being able to incorporate practice into a daily routine is key. Lastly, attitudes and beliefs. Sustained participants in their continued practice. The feeling of well-being during and after practice, attitudes of trust, acceptance, and kindness are the foundations of a lasting mindfulness practice. The results of the study concerning the associations between mindfulness practice and well-being and psychological flexibility mainly were consistent with earlier research. Frequency of informal mindfulness appears to be more important for well-being and psychological flexibility than frequency or duration of formal mindfulness practice. Interestingly, status as a mindfulness teacher or years of mindfulness practice were not significantly related to well-being or psychological flexibility. So this suggests there's little difference between the teachers and non-teachers when it comes to practicing consistently. To me, this study has revealed enlightening insight into mindfulness practice, which will assist me in developing and sustaining a consistent practice. The observation that uncertainties and challenges are common to us all, experienced and inexperienced practitioners alike, the values of informal mindfulness practice, which actually resonates with my perception of the benefit I derive from informal mindfulness. The significance of frequency rather than duration, and the importance of acceptance and self-compassion. All of these will definitely inform my practice.